FearFishing webcast. Before we get to the main show, first let's talk a second about all our wonderful advertising partners. First, we got the FearFishing Apparel Company, a huge supporter of the FearFishing webcast. I'm telling you, they go out of their way to bring this show to you every 2 weeks. Amazing people at that FearFishing Apparel Company. And guess what? Save yourself 10% anytime just for the hell of it. Just use the promo code WEBCAST. Who's up next, folks? Liquid Mayhem. There's my buddy Mike Iaconelli. If you want to catch more fish, and you just saw it in the video, if you want to finish watching the latest FearFishing Unspooled video, number 10, click on that. I used the Mayhem on day 2, and we put a hurting on them largemouth bass. And my friends at Liquid Mayhem want to hook you up. Save 15%. All you got to use is discount code FearFishing. If you need tires or anything awesome for your pickup truck to haul that big boat around, or little boat, even if you have a smart car, they can hook you up with tires for that bad boy. If you're in the GTA, call my friends at R&J Tire. And the money shot, if you want yourself a brand new F-150 like the one that I'm ripping, do yourself a favor. Grab the phone number right there at the top of the page for my friends at James Breton Ford. Tell them FearFishing or Ian West sent you, and they will hook you up large. Now let's get the party started. What's up? Sorry, folks. I was checking my little social media box there. They, in some cultures, they call that a cell phone. Good opening, eh? Go. Thank you. Thank you. Welcome to the FearFishing webcast, episode number 32. It's amazing to be back. I'm under the weather. I've had a tough week. We're going to get to that in a second. The diagnosis wasn't good, but I'm not going to die. So we're going to keep grooving on. To my left, Mark Hunter, introduce yourself, my friend.
My name's Mark Hunter from Bowmanville, Ontario. Hello, all.
On the couch, texting away, Marley. Sup?
How's everyone?
How's everybody out there?
So enthusiastic.
To the right, your left of him, Amber Philp. She's, you're looking nice tonight. What design are you wearing?
I don't know.
And behind the computer, as always, our favorite Canadian. Arctic Frozen Tundra.
Frozen Tundra.
What's up, Frozen?
Not much, man.
How's your week been?
It's been all right.
I've seen a lot of you lately.
Tiring. Oh God.
Let's
Busy at work.
Let's jump right into this. You are officially like a computer guy now. Not only here,
apparently,
but at the FLW Canada event.
Yeah.
How'd your season
go? It's been a fun
go?
year. It was a fun year. Met a lot of new people, and yeah.
Tell me one good story.
There's so many.
Really?
So many, yeah. So many with the dockmaster himself.
Boom.
Mr. Bedard.
Craziest man in fishing.
Yeah.
Angry Mike.
Angry Mike.
Yeah.
Chris Jones. All the anglers.
I got a question for you. Here's my question.
Yeah.
While we're all out on the water fishing these lovely events, what are you guys doing?
Just hanging out, talking, eating lunch, setting up stages, computers,
Laughing.
everything. Working our butts off.
Do you guys really work that hard?
Sunday we did. Sunday was
I
absolutely
literally thought
insane.
somebody was gonna die when you guys stopped traffic.
Oh yeah, for
I've
sure.
never seen
Standing in
anything
the
like
middle of
that.
the highway.
You guys are crazy.
Yeah.
Did you get vest?
A
No.
vest? No.
You
We
just
had FLW Canada shirts
lucky
on,
they
so
had
they knew they had
arms.
to
you
stop.
just balls backed it and then went out there.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, one
Balls
on
to the
each
wall?
side.
Scotty was directing traffic.
Yeah.
Oh,
That
we
one
had
lady, she didn't look like
stopped.
she was gonna stop.
You know, we had it stopped completely.
No way.
Two
Yeah.
guys in their hands. That's
Who
it.
was the other guy?
Matt.
I want to send a huge shout out. If I wasn't feeling well, we would be into this gigantic bottle of craft beer that Matt sent. So on the next webcast, I am going to crush that. So thank you, Matt. We will thank you again on the next webcast. Now let's talk about 3 weeks ago. I got chest pains, and I went to the hospital. And what's that word? What did I get?
Pleurisy.
I got pleurisy, folks, and that is a mean motherfucker. It sucks. It started on my left side. I swear to God, I woke up in the middle of the night. You can ask Amber. I thought I was having a heart attack. It hurt so bad, and I couldn't get comfortable. And I was like, I didn't fall. I've been feeling a little rough, but so I go to the hospital, and I got pleurisy. You know what that is?
Fluid or something, right?
It's a lack of fluid, I guess,
Lack of fluid.
around your lungs. Inflammation. So when you breathe, your lung and the sidewall tissue is like rubbing against each other like sandpaper, causing the pain.
So what's the cure for that?
Take some pills.
Some pills.
Lots of people. I guess if you have that, your next step's pneumonia. Like it's kind of
too much.
Yeah.
So
it's kind of like a lot of people have pneumonia end up with this.
Really, huh?
So I got over the bout of that. I was feeling pretty good. I went and fished the FLW, and I never even thought about this for our board, but Rich and I went bear hunting on Thursday night, and I was sitting in my tree stand, thinking about the lovely air and relaxing, and I started on the other side, and I had to go back to the hospital, and I got it in the other lung.
Oh, my. Well, at least you're consistent.
I know. Well, it's better to get it over with both of them at this, within a month rather than play this horse and cart game for the next. So I'm feeling a little under the weather. I'm drinking tea.
He is.
I'm trying to feel better because tomorrow we have a huge tournament.
We do.
There is a big tournament. We're hosting it out of the Tri-Lakes for the FearFishing Apparel Company field staff members. It's going to be a blast.
It is. I think we got, 9 boats, 10 boats?
We got 9-10 boats.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm totally prepared.
Scott just found out he was going tonight.
With Marley.
Yeah.
Frozen Mars bars.
Frozen Mars bars.
Mars bars.
That's
Better frozen than
it's
deep
kind
fried.
of like, with that title, it's kind of like when two really super famous people get married and then Brangelina. How do you feel about this, Marley?
Awful.
It's Tri-Lakes, man.
Oh, just wait till the Americans catch up into this one. The Facebook will be going wild. So we've had a big week here. What is today? Friday night?
Yep.
Friday night.
Last Sunday we returned from the FLW Canada Championship, and if you were just tuning in early, it's Unspooled number 10 already on YouTube. Subscribe to the channel that you're watching on right now. It was a tough event for Marley and I.
At least you were there, guys.
It was. We just got in by the narrowest of margins.
Skin of your teeth.
We had this really weird pre-fish where one day it was the worst fishing in the world, and the next day we just pound the snot out of them. You want to talk about this, Mar?
That pre-fish was awful.
It was bad.
I thought we were in balsam, seriously.
It was bad, but we had the one day where we whaled them.
One day.
Out of 5.
Just enough to give you hope for the tournament.
The first day we got a bunch of small buckets. It's a weird lake. It is
You went buckets on that body of water.
No. Smallmouth. You got to catch smallmouth to win.
Yeah.
Right? So we did that day one, and we only got 4 fish. And I thought we were going to hammer a monster sack first day. The first 2 fish we got in the boat were good ones. Like 4s. And then it just died. Day 2, we went out and we fished. We smallies.
Did you go somewhere different?
Day 2, we went for largemouth and we crushed them.
Really?
We had like 13 and change, and I lost a giant. Marley got a good one, crushed them. It was just one of those things. It was tough. It was hard on the emotions. It was hard. It was a hard tournament. After day 1, I was pretty upset. When I got home from the tournament, I was pretty upset.
My problem is I came into it with too many preconceived ideas of what we needed to do.
Yeah, I think that.
You overthink it?
You know what?
If we got to fish deep smallmouth, that's the only thing you can do to win.
The problem, and it was one of those tournaments when
Which is what won. But
yeah, but at the end of the day, I wish we could do it all over again. I feel we would have smoked them.
Do you think if you had a few more days pre-fish?
No.
Or a few less days pre-fish, maybe?
Maybe a few less. Last year
I had to pre-fish at least till Wednesday.
And then stopped. No, what do you mean? Like fished Wednesday?
Wednesday was the only day we did good. And we had an idea of where fish were.
We probably started too early. But the opposite is true for our guests tonight because they were there for 144 days.
Something like that. Yeah. It was a pilgrimage.
I'm pretty sure that I heard that they started sleeping in the truck there sometime back in June.
Yes.
And we're going to get into that with them because these lads showered in the lake off the boat. They had shampoo in the boat.
Let's not give all their stories.
It's going to be an exciting interview. So the FLW, let's recap the season. It was kind of a rough season for us, Mark.
It was one of the roughest. I'd say.
Same.
It kind of goes in, like we've been in the past. We never have. Well,
The problem is there's the transition from 1-day tournaments to 2-day tournaments, and we don't have a great history of 2-day tournaments.
We don't.
We have a great 1 day and then a terrible 2nd day.
But we've had seasons in the past where it was good from day one right to the end, where we were real consistent, and other years where it just doesn't work at all for us.
Yeah.
We're not very, like, I don't ever think we're going to win a Team of the Year award. We're not that consistent. We either do really well or terrible.
Going for gold, that's what.
You know, yeah,
But like,
it
it's
happens.
not even close, because if we were going for gold, you'd do like 14 pounds every event. But we have
It's
like
not there.
complete
Not
blowouts.
necessarily.
Yeah, one day we'll do
Complete
like
blowouts.
unreal,
We
like
had a bad
unbelievable.
year too. We had a terrible year.
What do you think it
Yeah.
was?
I don't know. Like, I think the 3 of the 4 tournaments we fished, we didn't even get a limit.
Some of the big guns, heavy hitter tournament winners didn't do so hot this year
Yeah.
either.
And then some guys just nailed them.
Yeah, it was crazy.
consistently.
You know, and I think that's a big thing of tournament fishing. That when you're having your shittiest day on the water, somebody is wheeling the living piss out of them.
I think the secret of this year, you had to get on those smallies. Smallies dominated
They
every
are
tournament this year.
they are
really
truly
did.
taking over.
Yeah.
Okay, now
That's the way every event is.
Quinny had their record weighed in
I saw
on
that.
the weekend.
Yeah.
7.33 Smalley.
here's a
Wow.
question. It came up at Big Rideau. Have you guys ever used a spy bait?
I have.
Really?
Yes. Have I ever caught on anything? No.
What do you think of it? Does it look
I
awesome?
think it's slow and boring.
Really?
Yeah.
Slower than Senko's?
It's not a. I think if you're on like schooling fish or something, you find that pack. I think it would be a good bait if you knew that the fish were there. But to use it, I don't know.
Here's another thing that kind
didn't throw it this year.
Here's another thing that kind of pissed me off, and it was like, last year I used the Alabama rig on Big Rideau and I caught fish.
I threw an Alabama rig once, one cast, and said no.
I didn't even bring it this year, and Barry Graves finished in the top 10 on an Alabama rig, casting all
Really,
3 days, and I knew last year I was so like, this is the perfect body of water for this, and it worked, and I didn't even bring them this year. It's crazy. And then now, and here, so the first stop next year on FLW Championship is Big Rideau.
Yeah.
Rumor has it it's all like a shallow water largemouth bite. You won't even be able to find those smallmouth.
Early season's
Yeah,
totally different.
it's totally different.
Somebody will find them.
You think so?
Gotta, yeah.
Is this speaking as the producer of the show or somebody who represents FLW Canada?
Both.
You think so?
Yeah.
You would state that as a fact?
I'll state it as a fact.
We're going to find out. Somebody write that down for we can nuke them next year when somebody wins on
Nuke the
largemouth.
shit out of me.
It was a great event. I had fun fishing the whole FLW. We took the family to the cottages. You got to spend a week with us at a cottage.
This
This
year,
year?
yeah, not this one, but yeah.
Are you going to fish FLW next year?
I believe you may see me at 1 or 2 or 3.
Did
We'll
you like
see.
the
We'll
cottage
see.
experience?
We'll see.
Had you done that before with the family? Brought the family to the tournament?
Have I done that before?
Yeah.
No.
Did you like that?
I did.
I will be honest, it has its advantages and disadvantages. I like to have the family around.
Yeah.
I'm not thrilled about dealing with kids during the event. Do you know what I mean? Like when you get home from the tournament, you want to
They're your
relax.
kids, Ian.
I know. Sons, bitches. No, they're great. It's just kind of like, it's a distraction.
Yeah.
Having the family there is great, but it's also a huge distraction. It's not easy. You're in tight quarters. I don't know if I would go back to not taking the family, because it is also nice to have them there. Because when you shit the bed, at least those people like you.
Are you excited about the Classic being on Tri-Lakes?
I kind
Where-
of I kind of have like mixed emotions. I kind
was.
of like,
Basically, I'm going out tomorrow to pre-fish for it.
yeah, I am too.
Yeah. The
Hey,
FearFishing.
good call. Same time of year.
Okay, so all right. So what time is it here?
Before you guys go too far, somebody's asking if you're doing any more events this year, or are you packing it in?
I'm not gonna fish anymore. After tomorrow, that'll be it for tournaments for the year. I'm gonna focus on hunting and filming for Unspooled. There's more than just bass to catch out there. We're gonna try to film some of that action. I might fish a tournament. I'm sure that.
Yeah.
Like I'd hate to say that I'm absolutely not. Sure, I'd like to. Who knows?
As of
Pro
now,
J's is
As of
coming
right
up.
now-
There's a couple more.
I'm done
Yeah.
this year.
You're done?
No more.
I'm not done.
I like if somebody wants to fish Pro J, maybe I'll do that. But it is during that 2 week. I believe it's during the 2 week opening of turkey hunting, and I'd really like to
It's
shoot
next weekend.
next weekend. No, that's Chongers.
Is it?
Yeah, October 15th, Pro J.
Oh, is it? Oh, maybe I'll
If
do
it doesn't coincide with that, I really am excited to try the new hunting thing. I really had a good time. It's like a new experience. I don't know how thrilled. Like, it's not about going out to kill things. I'm just excited to go out in the woods and walk around.
Did you get all freaked out when you heard the deer behind you? Or?
No, it's pretty cool.
Were you
We have been
disappointed?
We have been. No. I was kind of just like real excited to be out there.
Yeah.
It was kind of like,
And your chest hurt.
yeah, it did.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, for me, like tournament fishing is like a job. Fishing is like a job. I don't remember the last time I've been like on the water without a camera or just fun fishing. But when I went hunting, we had a camera there, but it was I kind of felt like, I didn't have any real high expectations. I thought there's a slim chance we might shoot a bear tonight with the bow, and that'll be exciting. But if we don't, I was kind of like an old guy sitting in my 14-foot tinny that I just rolled out in the lake, and I, cast my line over the side of the boat, and I put my feet up, and if I got one, great, and if I don't, better and working.
Yeah.
So that was kind of exciting to do that. I think that I'm really excited to just have an excuse to go outside.
So are you just strictly bow hunting?
I am,
Is that
man.
what you are?
I am. I kind of feel like bow hunting's my calling. I really like shooting my bow, not just like the hunting aspect. I really like just going out, and I brought it to FLW. I was shooting in the driveway of the cottage. I really just like going and shooting my bow. It's like free time to clear my head. You just take this stick and this string and you pull it back and you point at the target and you let it rip. And
That's all it
Nice.
takes. It's that easy.
and a string.
Frig.
Shit. I got pretty good at it pretty quick, so anybody can do it.
But
But
yeah.
it's kind of like simplifying everything, right? It's not like I need 14 bows, and these fish are finicky, so I got to pull out this other bow that's got a lighter string, and this super invisible arrow with a smaller broadhead. I take my arrows. I have like 15. I have like 5 with killing points and 5 with field points. I take my field points. I shoot them at the target.
Nice.
And it's really relaxing. I really, 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 really like it. And anybody out there who's never shot a bow, go buy one. It'll change your life.
A bear comes and you run.
Not me. I'm holding my ground. I hope to get... Now, I've been listening to Steve Rinelli, Meat Eater podcast, and he talks about how he's only going to shoot one grizzly bear in his whole life. For some reason, he's not one of these guys who wants to shoot a bunch of grizzly bears. He's just going to find one perfect bear and shoot it. But he also talks about how he'd like to kind of get mauled by it, so that there's a story to go by, and not enough to like hurt him, but to get some cool scars, right? So he can be like, shit. I can kind of see how that would be kind of exciting.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
like it,
A story to
and
tell.
you know what? Listen here. So if we're gonna film hunting, first off, I don't really know shit all about hunting. I know the basics of hunting, from growing up on the family farm. I know what deer tracks look like. I understand deer patterns because we see them all the time, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not that afraid of a bear. I probably should be. But you know what? I was thinking, and I'm sitting in the tree stand. I was like, what if bear walked by over there, right, out of bow range? And there's no I don't think you can call a bear in. Like, he either goes to the bait or he doesn't. I was like, if a bear goes across over there, I'm going to climb out of this tree, and I'm getting down there with him. And then and it was,
You got
and I
an
was like,
insurance policy on this guy?
I was like, it's got to happen. I was like, I can't, fear fishing unspooled, Green Hunter Ian West shoots a bear. Not that cool. Green Hunter Ian West climbs out of the tree stand and puts a stock on the bear. Gets a little mauled, but he dies. Like the bear dies.
Like not me.
That's 1 million hits.
Maybe.
Right? And then that gives me, that's street credit.
Yeah.
That's what
Street
that
credit,
is.
right?
It's
Right
quite the
there.
gamble for some hits
Well,
on friggin'
For a couple
and that's
likes.
what I was thinking, right? That was like your first big tournament win. I was thinking, like, you know, a little bit of street cred is like winning a tournament. So I thought if I go out, and so if some guy comes up to me, he's like 40-year-old man, he's like, I've shot 28 bears. I'd be like, listen, I shot one, but I climbed out of the tree stand, crawled on my knees across there, I laid down an amazing shot, but that son of a bitch was so tough he roughed me up before he died. Whose story's cooler?
Yours, babe.
Yeah,
See,
yeah,
and that's
you
what
got a
I'm
great
going
story.
for. That's what I'm going for. It is 8:20. Let's bring in our guests. These are the young lads who won the FLW championship. Whoop. This is they're just kids. Babies. But they pulled this off. This is very impressive. Clicker, Tundra.
Oh,
What's up? This Skype thing gave us problems in the past.
Uh-oh.
That'll come through. Whoa!
Uh,
Speaking of handsome men, can you hear us all right, guys? Can you hear us?
Yeah,
Okay, let's get this rocking. How's it feel to be FLW champs?
pretty awesome.
You feel bad about beating us old men?
Yeah,
Little bit?
a little bit.
No, you don't. So, boys, before we get into the FLW championship, why don't you tell us how the two of you got into fishing?
why don't we introduce these two young lads?
Cooper Gallant. You can do the other one.
And Danny McGarry. How you doing, guys?
Good.
So, I just assume that they're such big household names now that
They
people
probably are.
People
In
know
bass
these guys.
fishing, they certainly are.
They're the men. How'd you guys get into fishing?
Probably my dad for sure. When I was younger, my parents always used to rent cottages and stuff, and kind of just And then when I was 5, we moved down here to the lake. I live pretty well right on Lake Ontario here in Bowmanville, and I'm surrounded by water. Lake Ontario's right there, Bowmanville Creek's right there, and then there's 2 marshes. So kind of grew up fishing for anything that swam, really. Salmon, trout, pike, bass, muskie,
mermaids.
you name it.
Mermaids.
Danny,
Yeah,
how-
and I started out. I had a cottage when I was younger with my dad, and he really showed me the ropes. I got stuck out there on the lake with him throwing the anchor off the side of the boat, and I had to sit in the same spot for 8 hours. So that's how I learned.
Yeah, nice.
Now we're here. Coop showed me how to river fish and learned a bit about that and this and that, and here we are.
so you guys met down at the river.
No, we went to school when we were like 4 years old. I've known Dan for a long time.
Yeah, we played hockey with each other back in the day, so it's been a while.
Yeah.
Nice. And then back in the day, you mean like 2009?
Yeah.
The old times.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, no, we've known each other for forever, pretty much.
let's get down to business here, lads. How many days did you sleep in the back of your pickup truck?
9.
Oh, jeez.
What was that experience like?
How was it? It was
Yeah.
pretty good.
Little smelly.
Yeah. I don't know if I told you already in my halfway through the trip, it started to stink bad, like brutal. And I started to think, I'm like, my dog had this exact same memory foam. My mom gave me my dog's memory foam. So the whole truck smelled like a wet dog the whole week. It was brutal.
We made her work. We had a plug. That's all we cared about was getting a plug. So we
And
got
that was a big. When we were younger, Marley and I used to do that too. Actually, this year I spent 2 nights in the back of the truck pre-fishing for Cornwall. But that's the hard thing on the road is to find electricity.
Yeah. The first night, like the first day the first night we got there, I think it was the first night we got there. It started pouring rain, and we're like, "What are we gonna do?" And we ended up staying at Big Jim's that night.
Yep.
Thank you, Big Jim. And then the rest of the nights, we stayed at Forrest Wheeler's hotel, and
Nice.
we just plugged in there and stayed in the back of the truck at the hotel.
All right, lads, I'm going to give you some lessons on how to steal power. First off, the number one thing, the easiest way to get power is go to the fast food restaurants and make nice with the girl inside working the midnight shift. is she can perch the back door open. In real desperate, and I have done this at least 20 times in my life. In a real desperate situation, have you know, like those signs they put out at the end of stores with the light up with like the old snap-in, like the rental?
Yeah.
I hope there's like a statute of limitations, but more than a handful of times I've gone and unplugged those and plugged my boat in.
That's so funny. That's awesome.
You got to be creative out there on the road. I've showered in some pretty weird places too.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
So FLW comes. Day 1 and day 2 go pretty good. We don't want to talk about the easy stuff. Let's talk day 3. How did you young lads, and this is important, and this is the amazing part to me, is how you young guys managed your composure and the mental game of this going in when you going into day 3.
Yeah. So we basically had an A spot and a bunch of B spots. So all our B spots had like 3.5s. They didn't have those true giants like 4s, 4.5s. And we kind of hit our B spots day 1 and 2.
Yep.
And then we'd go to our big fish spot, maybe catch 1 or 2 big ones. We figured we needed 17, 18 a day to make the championship. So on day 1 we caught 17 and a half, and then on day 2 we caught 18, and then we kind of saved our big fish water, right, for the last day, and we went there and we ended up.
Were you nervous at all?
Were we nervous?
I think it was more a hoping thing because we knew they were there. We weren't like we knew that we had the fish on that spot to win.
Yep.
And it is a big mental game whether you can sit there or not for a whole day, and that's what we did. We went and camped on it because we knew we needed those big 5 bites. We didn't care about catching quantity. We just wanted the quality.
Yeah, our first fish when we showed up, it was what,
a 4.5.
4.5. It was a good one. So we kind of stuck around for another hour, not one bite, and then we got a little flurry at like 11 o'clock ish, and we got 3 or 4 more in the boat, and we had 18 pounds by then. What we thought was 18 pounds was actually a 20-pound sack.
Yeah,
wow.
That was it for the rest of the day. We had a couple of other boats come in and out, and we just decided that we'd camp there the rest of the day, and we knew that we had to get one more 4-pounder. That was a big thing that was going through our heads, that no matter what weight we had, no matter when, we had to catch another 4-pounder, no matter when. At the end of the day, 5 minutes left in the day on the Sunday, Coop was still saying, no, like, we still need to keep fishing. We need another 4-pounder. So that was a big thing.
Did any of the other boats bug you, like try to work in on you?
We had not quite. Like, we had one boat kind of nose in on us, but I think he realized that we were on them, and he kind of respected the fact that, you know what I mean?
Yep.
That's good.
No, that's really good. That sportsmanship is really important.
And on the final day, we went back, and he was there, but he wasn't on our spot, which was awesome.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
That's super cool.
Who he is, so thank you. Appreciate it.
So you got the weight in the boat. You're headed to weigh-in. Did you think you had it?
No,
not at all. If you watch, Cooper's dad filmed us, and we went back and watched the video, and you could see me like rubbing my head like this, and Cooper was kind of looking around all like red in the face, and we were both looking at each other. And after we heard Graves had that huge 20-pound sack, the biggest sack of the tournament on day 3,
Yep.
we looked at each other and we were hoping for second with what we had that day. And then we looked at each other after we heard the 20 pounds. We were like, well, Coop, looks like we're scrapping on the way home or something, because we're scratching a third.
Now, you get up. I watched the weigh-in, young lads.
So did I.
And when they
a dozen times.
When they called your final weight out, you both looked stunned, like you didn't know that you'd won yet.
Yeah, I blanked. It's so weird. I still can't describe it. Like, I don't even remember the first 5 seconds before or the 5 seconds after. It's like I wasn't even like, I don't know how to explain it, but it's like I blacked out for 10 seconds. It was weird.
For me, it was, we were looking at it, and like we were pretty good at guessing our weights through the week. Like, we knew we had 18 the 2 days before, and we thought it was only 18. And then when I seen that 20, that's what was so surprising, was just seeing that. I had no idea we had that much weight.
Now, how'd you find the spot? Can you tell us?
The big fish spot?
Yeah, did you just happen to fall across, like, did you find it during pre-fish?
Yeah, we did. We spent a lot of time on the water, and that's what I think was super key about how we found our big fish spots. And we ended up, honest to God, we probably fished every shoal in that friggin' lake. We fished from sun up to sundown, and I think that's what made us win it. We were on the water for 6 days straight, sun up to sundown, and
I guess
we kind of broke the lake apart, and we kind of knew where the bigger fish were, and we kind of, like, all our spots, even our B spots, Ian, they were right around our big fish spots. So we kind of just broke the lake down where the bigger fish were and duplicated. You know what I mean? We just
Yep.
broke
No,
it down
for
in a
sure.
little section of the lake and just picked it apart.
Were you worried about these fish moving? Because the tendency is the big Reed O is those fish move a lot.
Yeah, this we found at least this year. In past years, we heard that, like you just said, Ian, that they chase bait a lot out there and smelt and whatever craws and whatever other bait are out there, they're chasing it. Guys are fishing suspended smallies out in 200 feet of water. But I think with this pattern we got on, like we did chance it. It was 0 or 0 for what you just said. Like we were hoping they were going to be there, and I think after seeing them for a solid 4 or 5 days there, we couldn't have seen them moving.
Yeah.
So
yeah, like 4 days before we caught fish there, and they were kind of there every day.
Yep.
So
you found those fish pretty early in your pre-fish then, and you just went back each day to see if they were still there.
Yeah, we didn't even fish. We just checked up on it, shook off, like normal pre-fishing type stuff.
Yeah. See, we had 3 spots that had giant smallies on it, and we found them on the Wednesday, and on the Saturday of the event, the first 2 fish we had in the boat were 4-pounders, and it died. All 3 spots died at once. Then that's why I was really surprised that when I heard you guys camped on the spot, because that's what we knew we needed 18, 19 pounds day one, where you might as well weigh in nothing. So we camped all day hoping that they were going to show up, and we just kept going basically to all 3 spots over and over again, praying that they showed up. So I was really interested in hearing that your guys' fish stayed.
yeah.
I think I don't know if we could really say that they stayed. I think that it was like a cruising spot.
Yeah, for
like
sure.
They weren't the same fish as what we seen 4 days before. They were for sure not the same
New
fish.
fish keep moving in and coming out.
Gotcha.
What
That's important.
We would do is I'd put the trolling motor on like 50, and we'd like, you should see my graph, the trail, like there's literally just a black blotch on my graph. Basically what we did, I just put the trolling motor on like 50 or 60, and we would just drive until we marked a fish. We knew it was a good fish by the size of the arc, and we'd stop and we'd drop, and almost every time you'd catch the fish. So
that's nuts. That's awesome.
So your electronics were huge for you guys. How deep were you fishing?
I'm so glad I just got my new unit, and I'm
I know.
glad I did.
On Rice, we had to scan the whole lake just using down scans. We had twice the amount of trails that you would do if you had side scan, and I think that unit saved us for this. We would not have placed nor made Sunday without for that Lawrence unit. It was key.
That's
Now
awesome.
we don't have to use your phone anymore.
Yeah, we were using my phone for navionics on Rice because Cooper didn't even have navionics on it.
That shows these guys are champs.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
That's awesome, guys. It's a tough event on a tough lake, and you guys should be very proud of yourselves.
Thank you, Ian. Thank you.
Now let's talk something. How do we get more young lads like you guys into fishing?
Join clubs. There's so many clubs out there that you can join. Like, we grew up fishing the Port Perry Bassmasters, and that's kind of how we got started tournament fishing. When we were both 13, we fished on the Bay of Quinte. I ended up getting Angler of the Year, and Danny actually won that tournament. So, and then they sent us to the States that year, and that's the year that we actually won on the St. Lawrence River. And it kind of just started from there. After being in the States once, and that's kind of how we got started.
We did a couple of meetings with some junior clubs and stuff afterwards, and we tried describing the feeling you get when you go down south and the atmosphere and the people you meet and the launches you see, launching 10 boats side by side and the weigh-ins. It's undescribable, I think. And a lot of that's what me and Coop were talking about to a lot of other people at this event was it wasn't the prize that we really cared about, the money. Winning the FLW is getting a chance to go back down south.
Yeah,
that was our main goal, was to head back down south.
But yeah, definitely joining a club. I don't know if there's kids watching right now, but if there is, join a club because you get to fish with a ton of different guys that fish differently, and you learn a ton. Like me and Dan have probably fished with a lot of different guys, and that's why we've learned so much in the last couple of years is through guys we fished with, like Mark.
Yeah,
fished with Mark.
I was your favorite, wasn't I, guys? You learned more from me those days than anybody else, and it's basically my trophy too.
The What Not to Do by Mark Hunter.
I learned how to lose a big gator.
Yes, you did. It was my fault. I'm sorry. It was my net, buddy. I didn't suck.
Do you see us ever selling this sport of fishing to young people as like the cool thing to do? Were you guys open in high school about fishing? And like when I was in high school, I was like a closet fisherman. I didn't tell anybody because I didn't want people to know.
No, I'd go to school smelling like riverbank. I used to go to school. I used to go fishing before school on the river, and I would just reek of roe going to school. I remember just my hands, and they I don't know, probably know Ian, you do a lot of river fishing too, and your hands get all crusty and dry and gross.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember
I reeked like ditch and stale beer.
I remember jamming my rod in my locker. I remember doing that.
So
bringing my pouch into school. People thought I was a purse.
So things are changing though. Like fishing's a little more, acceptable, a little more mainstream. You think with the young people?
Yeah, I think it's definitely. I think it's getting bigger. I mean, it's a very enjoyable sport. I think a lot you can personal bests and stuff, and get to meet a lot of new people. And yeah, I think it's getting way bigger. I've never seen a kid go out and not continue to do it.
No, that's the big thing.
Awesome.
If you can convince a kid to go once and have a good time, and even if they don't catch anything, the social aspect, especially of river fishing, like I saw the photos and video of you with those Ardent boys opening weekend of trout fishing when you guys went camping.
Oh yeah, Nick.
Yeah. That's. I think you got to sell young people on the social aspect of fishing.
Yeah, for sure.
And as soon as you get them started, then steelheading's kind of like the gateway drug to tournament bass fishing.
Yeah, for sure.
It's kind of like
you don't need a boat.
No,
right?
It's easy. Anybody can do it. You need a flow rod. You can pretty much fish.
I think ice fishing's like that too.
And it's total. Well, I think with the river fishing that like there's so much competition. Like, I went 9 for 26 today on the river. I got the best row in the whole world. I'm throwing down 3-pound fluorocarbon for my leader. That it's kind of like bass tournaments, right? There's a little smack talking down there. You're trying to beat your buddies to spots in the morning. You're catching. You got to. And the only thing difference between steelheading and bass fishing is steelheaders want numbers and bass fishermen want big fish.
Yeah.
So I think you'd like reach a plateau of river fishing where you're like, I scheme fishing today. I caught 58 Chinooks, and then you're like, you know what? I'm gonna go get myself a tenner, and I'm gonna beat somebody in a bass boat.
Yeah.
And then it just keeps going.
Yeah.
Speaking of boats, Joel Parisi wanted to know what boat everyone started fishing in.
My dad's.
Coop. The first boat I ever had, you guys want to hear this? You guys will appreciate this. So when I was maybe 18, I went and bought myself a 14-foot Legend with a Mercury 9.9. So my first thing, I want to catch some Chinooks, so I took a 2x4 and I put it across the oar locks. I got 2 hand riggers, and I went out there twice with them, and I decided that reeling up cable is just not in my forte. So I got windshield wiper motors off a transport truck, and with a socket, I attached them. So I had power riggers, and I used to go out, and I would go to like 200 feet of water in my tenner, right?
No way.
I would put 2 rods out and sink the cannonballs, and I would go this is like 10 miles out in Lake Ontario, and I would troll all the way back to Port Hope, pound the snot out of fish. And then I went and I got my buddy. I bought him a whole bunch of beer, and he put a front casting deck on it with a Minn Kota trolling motor.
Nice.
And you know what? I had him put in a fuse panel with a charger. And that's how I started fishing. And that's how I started bass fishing. I have hundreds of pictures of fish I caught out of that boat.
That's awesome. That's cool, yeah.
What about you guys?
Yeah, what'd you guys start fishing in?
I think my first boat was a kayak, and I've yet to have a boat since then. That's what's really cool about being a non-boater. You get to go in a lot of people's bass boats. You get to go in some really cool boats, and a lot of different ones too. All the way from Tinners all the way up to your $125,000 Rangers or whatever. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, Coop, what did you start in?
My first boat, it's actually still in the backyard, and I love it. Still to this day, I bring it in the harbors and fish for pike and stuff. It's I think it's 11 foot. I don't even know what kind of boat it is.
It's a little fiberglass thing.
It's red. It's nice. I like it a lot still.
It says the Lost Anglers on it.
And like 3 years ago, my neighbor was selling one. 3 or 4 years ago, probably. This big green boat. And I begged my dad. I'm like, please, Dad, can we get it? And I begged him for a solid 2 months. And I showed up from school the one day, and it was in the backyard, which was awesome.
That's really cool.
And then we rebuilt it, which was pretty cool. Me and my dad. It took like a year to do, but we put a deck on it, and we got a trolling motor and everything for it, and then
that boat helped pre-fish actually for sturgeon.
Yeah. Nice.
We spent the whole week on that boat and rented a cottage for a high school championship.
Yeah. And then I just got a bass boat this year.
Nitro.
I saved all my money last year, every penny.
And I read the story about that on Facebook that your dad went and got it for you, and the guy told you they sold it.
Yeah, I called the guy, and I'm like, cause I was gonna go get it. Like I was down, like I was done work. I was with my boss. I'm like, I'm going to get it right now. And I call him, Marcello. I'm like, hey, is the boat still available? He's like, no, bud, sorry, someone's here buying it right now. Meanwhile, my dad was there with them going, don't tell him. Like, kind of thing, right? So I was all mad. I come home, and my dad was getting new kitchen cupboards for the house because we're doing renovations and stuff. He's like, Coop, come out. Like, you got to help me bring the cupboards inside. And he pulls around with the boat.
Nice.
I'm like, what?
That's awesome.
Awesome.
Well, it's kind of like you guys. I fished with Marley since we were kids, and we met at the river in Port Hope on the Ganaraska. And I can remember when you guys got the tinny.
Yep, the 14-footer.
The low, isn't it?
Low, yeah.
Yep. And I can remember being down the river and Marley coming down, and he was the first guy I knew with a boat. And he kind of had the 14-foot tenor with the 9.9 on it.
I was like 13 when I got it.
Yeah. I can totally remember the day that, or at least the weekend that you picked that boat up.
Coop, why don't you tell us what you're doing in November, buddy?
November.
Oh my God.
Oh, geez, sorry. We're going. So we qualified to go down to Kentucky like next November.
Yep.
No, you're talking about Brazil, you idiot.
Oh, Brazil or?
We'll talk about both, Coop.
Okay, tell your story, young man.
Yeah, tell us both of them.
This win just becomes more and more impressive.
I'm going to Brazil in November. Beginning of November, I'm going to Brazil to fish for peacocks and piranha.
Yeah.
Which is going to be unreal. I'm pumped for that. And then I got to beg my boss for another week off because we want to go pre-fish for the Costa Championship because we're going next November, but we're really planning on going down this November as well to kind of get a feel for the lake at that time of year. And
you would think that a trip to Brazil would be like on the top of the list of things to remember.
Yeah, you would think.
Yeah. You would think so, right?
That's
so
pretty
you
cool.
guys already have a place to stay in Kentucky Lake, right?
Well, yeah. Chris Jones?
Actually, it was really cool having Chris Jones up here in Canada to do the weigh-in, and we had him actually day 3 when we were fishing. We had him come out in one of the boats and interview us. That was super cool. And after the tournament, after we won, he came up to us and he's like, like, you guys are welcome at my house. And he gave us his number and said he can make some pretty smoking good barbecue. So we're going to give him a text, I think, before we go down there and see some southern hospitality. That'll be pretty neat, staying at Chris's house.
They need somewhere to plug in, right?
Yeah,
Park the truck in the driveway.
He told me.
Yeah.
He told me when I was speaking to him that he has daughters who would probably be pretty excited to meet Mr. Cooper.
3 foot 4.
So, lads, are you done tournament fishing for the year?
No. No. We got the DAA clubby weekend coming up next weekend. That's going to be a blast. I've been looking forward to that all year. And then I think we're doing the Pro J Open on Rice again, too. We're going to do that one. So, yeah.
Beauty.
I think that'll be it.
Well,
and then pike fishing starts. Yeah.
Young
pike
lads.
and fall steelies.
Maybe at some point during the fall, you guys could send me a text message and we can get out and film some steelheading together.
Yeah, let's do it. For sure.
Sounds good, boys.
Let's do it.
Again, I want to say congratulations. You guys did an amazing job. Everybody in fishing.
Thank you, everyone. Yeah,
everybody in Canadian fishing is very proud of you too.
Thanks so much.
Stay in touch, lads.
For sure, we will.
Coop, don't forget about your flight to Brazil, man.
Hey, you should tell Mark that.
And remember, call your mom, Coop.
Yeah. Make sure you set up that account tonight too, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I will, for sure.
Okay. Keep it real, bros.
Bye. All right. Take care, guys.
Thank you, guys.
Bye, guys.
Cheers, man.
Bye.
See ya.
They did an amazing job. I'm really proud of the two of them.
I'm super proud of those two.
That was awesome. I can't believe you forgot about Brazil. That was a classic FearFishing moment right there.
Do you know that's happening? His boss said. His boss went and got it for him. He's going with his boss. This guy that's giving him all this time off to go pre-fish and go down to the States numerous times.
Where does he work?
Now
Ian needs a job there.
He does spray foam. You know.
Nice.
Yeah.
Aww.
Yeah. So really cool.
That was really cool. Great kids. I got to talk to them a couple times throughout my career. Super nice kids.
Yeah.
I used to be their ride, but now they have licenses. They don't call anymore.
Poor guy. All right, now since we're on the, let's talk about FLW versus Emerald Island tournament.
Whoa, we're gonna go there?
Yeah, oh shit, why not?
Why not? Why not?
What are your thoughts? I've never fished Emerald Island, and I haven't commented on this on Facebook at all. I have seen the comments. I'm totally down with. We need a real series in Canada. It kind of sucks that the Emerald Island is an important event, but it's one time in the next 10 years, and there's no other weekends.
No, I know.
It's either
September's are really, really busy, and
it's either hold it there, which the town of Buckhorn really, really, really wants FLW to come, or screw up somebody else's classic.
Exactly.
My vote is run them both.
I think so too. Friday, you don't have any Emerald Isle boats on it, right? That's day one of the FLW, so it's not an issue, right? Nope. Saturday may be an issue.
It'll be busy.
Emerald Island guys can't go into Pigeon.
Yep.
They're just Buckhorn and Shamong, so that kind of leaves a little bit of pressure there. And then on Sunday, it's only the top 10 boats from the FLW that's going to be on the water on Emerald Island's day two. So I think, it's okay. Emerald Island has a huge tradition, and I respect that very much. It's been going for 30 plus years, and there's a lot of guys that are hardcore, and they won't miss it for the world. There's actually a waiting list for that.
Run the event. If nobody, even if you make that top, the FLW championship, you don't have to fish it. If you're that into Emerald Island, fish that. But we need this in Canada.
And if there's a waiting list for Emerald Island, it's not like they're going to be lacking
boats
any boats, right?
120?
120.
So,
Emerald Island's 120,
FLW only have, 35?
40 at the most.
40 at the most?
Yeah.
So that's 160 boats.
Yep.
It's been done before.
I think that,
Just run the two.
You should just do the both.
Yeah.
It's good for fishing. You know what? If you made that FLW championship, you'll find fish. It'll just make it a little more exciting.
There's some interesting ideas too about pigeon only and stuff.
Yeah.
Like have FLW pigeon only, and then you could open it up for the top 10 of the whole lake, right?
Yeah, and who knows what's going to happen over the next year. But there is no way that I think we don't run the championship.
That'd be a good idea. Friday's all tri-lakes. Saturday's pigeon only for FLW.
Yeah.
And then Sunday is the top 10. They can go wherever they want.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Or
Problem solved. You're welcome.
or you know.
Thank you, Mark. Thank you.
It's everybody.
expect the thank you
I
card.
totally think that everybody should just work together to make this as reasonable as possible. Run both events. Have a great weekend. You know, worst case scenario, fishing's a little tough, but that whole community is gonna, you know, the economic effect.
Mm-hmm.
Fishing has taken a ton from the Tri-Lakes tournament bass fishing over the last 30 years, right? Everybody who's fishing whatever series has been to the Tri-Lakes. We've all caught fish there. Cottagers aren't always appreciative of us being at events. This is a good way to run 160 boats on that body of water, fill her up the gas tanks, stay the week, pre-fish your heart out,
Eat at
and
the
just
restaurants.
do whatever you can to spend money, and they'll have us all back. And who knows what happens in the future? It's just going to conflict next year. And you know what? Even if FLW did change, the weekend before is Renegade Classic. Then the weekend after that's the B1. So which would you rather
And the
not
weekend
piss off?
before that is the
CSFL. So who do you want? Like,
Yeah.
it's going to happen. Conflict happens.
Mhm.
Is what it is. Ooh, did we get everything?
Somebody just asked how many boats are showing up for the FLW. It's 40.
For the FLW championship?
Or the tournaments.
Unless
for
they
the
change it.
championship,
It was
40.
like 37, I think it was last year, was it
Yeah,
not?
39 this year. I believe it was 39.
So under 40
A
boats
couple
anyway,
didn't
so
show.
yeah. So yeah, that's not that bad.
No,
That's like a big clubby.
it is
Yeah.
shit all.
There's only really one day you have to worry about.
And
Yeah,
there's
the
so
Saturday.
Much
The
and there's
Saturday's-
so much
it
water
is huge.
There really is so much water.
We'll see what that lake's made of. That'd be that. I'm kind of interested to see what kind of weights come out.
Yeah.
Somebody's going to get a monster bag, or it's going to be so tough.
I think the biggest thing for Emerald Isle would be policing people going into Pigeon.
Have they? I've never fished it in my life.
I haven't either. I haven't either.
Have they always not been allowed to fish pigeon?
I don't know. Apparently so.
Man, we should research this show. Just right off the top of the hat. Do we have any more questions, Amber?
No, but we have tons more.
We'll throw them out there. My
You want to talk about your FLW rescue?
So during the FLW event, we're coming back day 2. I see the FLW weigh-in boat, and I see poor Dan McGarry and Brian Lowe being towed. So I drive by and I slow down, right?
Mhm.
And them two start waving like I was an F-16 landing on a carrier. So I go over there, and we had 13 pounds, and there was no way we were going to make the cut.
Mhm.
And they were real close. They're a bubble team. So I get over there, and we throw Shane, the cameraman, out. I'm like, get out of the boat. We take on Brian and an official, Matt McKenzie from FLW. Marley moves all the fish over. We take all 10 fish, and we blast her up the river to, Big Rito to get to weigh-in.
Yeah.
I will tell you that those two fine gentlemen have messaged me every day since that event to thank me.
Really, eh?
And
That's awesome.
And I've told them every day that you don't have to thank me at all. It's the least I could do. And I honestly, if they had 15 and change, if they would have had 20 pounds, I'd have chucked my fish back in the lake and zeroed in the day to get their fish in. It's good sportsmanship. I think we need more of that in fishing.
Yeah.
It was kind of surprising to me how shocked they were that we stopped.
Yeah, because several boats didn't stop.
Yeah,
I don't
that
know.
happened to me on,
I heard
on
that.
Rice CSFL this year. We were passed by several boats that you could see that they saw us, and they just kind of pointed forward and said, "No, just keep going." Keep going. And then the guys with the smallest boat, with the lowest horsepower, stopped.
Really?
You know, and gave us a ride in.
Nice.
Yeah.
I think that goes a long way.
Yeah, no, very.
And you know what?
very cool.
I've talked to Brian every day since, and I didn't really know him before.
Yeah,
we had him on
Brian's
the
a good guy.
webcast.
They're both good guys,
Super.
yeah. I
awesome
don't know
guys.
them well, but I've talked to them.
Super
Yeah.
awesome guys. And you know what? That's how we met J-Mac. You remember when J-Mac didn't put enough oil in his boat and they couldn't get it?
Yeah.
So we're coming in on Quinny.
We should never have picked him up.
No,
This doesn't need.
that was kind of like getting the bad hitchhiker, right? And that's how we met J-Mac.
Oh, yeah?
And we pulled over, and J-Mac brought his...
If you knew then what you know now.
Yeah,
eh?
son of a bitch, eh? I'd have taken Scotty.
Well, Brian's the guy that I was waiting to pull my boat out at the launch at Golden Beach, I think it was, and he came up to the thing. He saw the FearFishing stickers on the truck. He says, "Hey, are you Marley?"
That's awesome.
Yeah.
What about you also had a FLW member save a life?
Yes.
I don't know a whole
Friday
lot about
night.
that story. Were you there for that?
Yeah,
I was there.
it was pretty
Tell the
crazy.
story, guys. I did hear.
I
I
didn't
did hear. I wasn't there. I'd left.
I didn't hear nothing about Scott getting wet that day.
I didn't get wet. I was sitting by my computer there, but yeah, they were yelling that somebody had went overboard and the man had fell off his pontoon boat, in between the break wall and his pontoon boat.
Who?
A 70-year-old man, and
I did hear that. I believe it was Jared Dean and Trevor Konopowski jumped in to help him.
yeah,
Oh,
Steve
and
O'Connor
Steve
was
O'Connor.
the first one that
Steve
jumped
O'Connor.
in. Yeah, and then the other guys went and helped. Jared actually left his fish up on stage. And
Yeah, he was the
Yeah, I
last
heard that.
one
he
to
was
weigh
the last
in.
one to weigh
Really?
And then
That's
all of a
super
sudden
good of those
everything went
guys.
to hell.
Yeah.
You know what? It shows the camaraderie when something goes bad, and those guys are all out for each other,
Yeah.
and to help the public. And you know, fishing's a dangerous sport. You got to watch those dogs.
And they were even saying at the restaurant, like, that they were going to have dinner, and the restaurant owners even said, you know, there's nobody here that would have been able to get him out. He was
Really?
a big man.
Mm-hmm.
He had shoulder problems, so you couldn't really lift
Yeah,
him and hold
I gotcha.
him. And it was tough.
That's really good. I had an awesome time fishing the
Did you
FLW.
see it, Amber? You were probably pretty close.
I was holding the boat away from the.
So you
thing.
actually
I was one
helped?
of the- yeah. And I flagged down the.
Oh, excellent. We
I
should have
flagged
cake.
down the-
We need cake.
I flagged down
You
the
know what?
ambulance.
We had Emma's birthday at Big Rito.
Yeah.
We got another DQ cake.
Did you? Isn't
It's
that
good.
delicious?
They're awesome.
Delicious.
Love them.
Mind blowing. That crusty whatever that is in the middle.
Score
Oh.
piece or whatever it is. Yeah.
To
crushed up
die
score.
for.
Love
We
it.
got a few questions.
Well, maybe if we get to 50 episodes, I'll buy you one.
Oh, cool.
50.
33.
Oh, jeez, I'll be 80. Hope I got teeth still.
Fire away, honey.
Somebody's asking about top bass. Any ideas what's going on for next year, and any word on Ted?
Well, I have heard nothing
I've
about
heard
top
nothing.
backs. The only thing I it's all rumor, speculation. My gut feeling, it's done. I don't think he's coming back.
I've heard nothing.
I've heard nothing, but my gut feeling is Ted did a lot for the sport of fishing, and Ted did an excellent job, and I had a great time fishing Ted's events. And I would probably fish Ted's events again. I have no problem with it, as long as there's no cheaters.
Yeah.
Just to throw that in there. But you know what? I bet you Ted's had the first summer off that he's had in 20-something years.
And he's
And I
loving
bet
it.
you he's got his feet up, and he's got a hell of a suntan, and he probably doesn't need the bullshit. My opinion. Totally speculation.
You want to talk about Lucas and Jack winning?
Now, okay, so, man, I missed everything. It's this chest problem I can't see up there. So,
Affecting your eyesight.
Hopefully you can't hook set tomorrow too.
fear fishing, guys. Lucas Kemp, Jack, Slayer,
Sayer.
Sayer.
Slayer.
I'm going with Slayer.
Yeah, that sounds cool.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
I don't have to call people their real names.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get frozen tundra. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They got FLW Sportsman of the Year awards.
Woo woo.
Well deserved.
Well deserved.
Well
they
done, guys.
they built their boat from. I've seen the pictures. They built that boat. They built that boat. The first event they ran out of gas.
Yep.
Second again they blew the engine up.
Yep.
And I've never seen two guys smile more at a fishing tournament my whole life than those two. They're supportive of everybody. They couldn't care if they caught a fish. They're just happy to be there. All they ever talk about is how happy they are to be there, how awesome it is to be here, how excited I am to be here.
And they were asked to come down to Rideau Ferry for an interview.
And they had
And
no
they
idea.
came and stayed the whole
Kitchener.
weekend from Kitchener. Which is a
5
6-hour,
hours.
5-6 hour drive.
Brought the
And,
family.
yeah, oh yeah.
No idea what they were getting.
Not a clue.
Just an interview.
They
Stayed
called
at a
them up on
motel.
stage, and I don't even think the two. I got video. If you watch Unspooled 10, you'll see it. They're kind of like, what are we even doing up here? And they had a bigger celebration than Cooper and Danny.
Yeah.
They went nuts. I've never seen two guys more excited
don't
in my whole life.
You don't get to see much of it on the
They
Unspooled.
flooded.
No, you don't.
Like just a little clip of it.
But they marched around. They were ultra proud of their trophies.
Those trophies are dope, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? It's super awesome to see that in fishing.
Mm-hmm.
Because over the there's kind of been a doom and gloom over fishing sometimes. especially in Canada.
Mhm.
You like people win and they're just throw their. I saw a team win once who win all the time. Take their check and throw their trophies from the dock into the boat like they were just nothing.
Oh, I'd have them all shined up on my.
Well, that's the thing, right?
I've got a shelf.
Here's two guys who got.
It's empty, but it's waiting. It's waiting.
It's waiting.
One of Ian's is on the wall there.
Oh,
Another
nice.
I'm gonna keep everything I got.
Yeah.
I got
Nice.
I got a
Medals?
CFL. I got my big fish. I got CSFL medals around here somewhere.
Nice.
I spent $100,000 trying to get one of them. But it's really good to see somebody get, like. First off, good on FLW Canada for pointing out the sportsmanship award. That's huge. Marley and I did stop and get Brian and Dan, so we're well within the running for next year's awards. Now that we know there's an actual award out there, we're going to step our game up.
Can't win the big trophy.
Anybody listening who needs their boats backed in the morning, let us know. If you
Gas
need
fill up, oil.
gas fill up, you need GPS points. Our spots aren't very good, but I will give them up. You need to
A rod.
a reel,
Tackle. Will
some,
run for
maybe you just need a
Spare
little.
boat.
Have the line off my
Maybe
spool.
you need a little morning pep talk. Stop going to Spiro and start coming to my boat, and I'll talk to you through this.
Coffee.
Coffees.
I think
the
you're
girls
behind a
did the
little bit.
coffee
Yeah,
run.
sure.
Marley
you
did
guys
lend
brought-
his boat out this year, so he might, he should get some.
You're a bit behind, I think, Brian, guys, because I think you guys picked up Brian and Dan, but gee, he saved their life, man.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
You got some backing up a trailer.
let's
to do
look
there.
here. I'm not
Someone's
even
in
gonna
danger next
say
year,
it.
I'm
Yeah.
first one.
Yeah, he can't even
I'll
swim.
be
He'll
in
go
there.
in.
Yeah.
I'll sit. And you know
Have
what?
to save 2 people.
Because I'm such a sportsman, I'll jump in and save both of them.
Yeah.
But it's good. Yeah, I totally think that, I hope that trend continues. I think in a couple of years, we should have a Rookie of the Year trophy.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
That's a good
For
idea.
new guys who
Absolutely.
sign up, young
Yeah.
guys, there should be like an age, maybe 30 and under.
Maybe we should do like a best dressed.
I would win that.
Yeah.
I would be down for that.
Yeah.
I wish to hear. Okay,
Yeah,
we're gonna
no.
get way off topic
Zimmer
here.
has that.
Zimmer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man bun.
No,
pants.
man bun and his
pants.
paint pants. If I wish we had post game interviews. If anybody out there would bring us where you like the NBA game where you go and you sit at the table. I think we should do this at fishing.
Yeah.
I'm pitching this idea to Limit Fish Media.
Like the UFC pregame.
Yeah. So what you do is you weigh in, right? FLW going weigh in. Forget about going to move your boat. Mike can kiss my ass. I'm going to go to the post game. Maybe we do it for me and whoever's in the top 10, right? So that you can go okay, so maybe you do move the boat because nobody wants to listen to Angry Mike, right? So we go move the boat, we go back to the launch, we all get dressed up. I'm going to wear like my hipster glasses, my flat brim hat. I'm going to bring a backpack and a plaid shirt. You go up there and they ask you questions. You got the big FLW back screen. We do post-game interviews.
What's with the backpack?
Yeah.
It's
What's
stylish,
it-
man. It's stylish.
Do the
you
glasses have lenses?
No, man.
Yeah.
No. I totally think that maybe that's the future. Maybe we can get some post-game commentary.
That'd be cool.
It would be cool. I think there's a lot of people out there.
Right when you come off the dock, though, kind of like when you're skating off the ice.
Yeah.
You come off the dock and then you just
Oh
go
my
into
God,
it.
maybe we could do towels. There should be like the official after pro conference.
Like FearFishing towels.
But maybe we need to have like the towel over the shoulder.
Or
and
over your
the-
head.
It'll be awful.
Shut your
You'd be like,
mouth.
how was your fishing day? Well, we got jigs in deep,
Yeah.
We really pushed through in that third
We could
period.
spit a lot.
You know what you get? I'm not doing the interview. I need a beer, asshole. What'd you catch your fish on today? Rod. Okay, so maybe I should just do the post-game interviews. We'll take care of something like this. That'd be awesome.
That'd be good.
I think there's more people out there. I mean, people listen to this show, thousands of them by the end of the. I think there's a lot of people out there that we assume don't want to hear. I think people would watch this.
Sure
I
they
think
would.
people want to know.
There's people that wait and wait and wait just for the results, eh? If these
Oh,
people show,
totally.
You know what I mean?
Like unreal
You would
amount of
get
people.
Those people.
I'm shocked the amount of people. Like, here's the deal. On like, let's say tournaments, and I will weigh in my fish, and before I've got back to my boat, put it on the trailer, and I'm talking like any tournament that runs this. CSFL, I had, by the time I got to my truck, I had over 50 messages from people on Facebook saying, whatever about the day of fishing. Because they've been watching it online. They love it. Even Americans. A lot of Americans message me who watch the weigh-ins or the updates. It's awesome. It's there. I think if you build it, they will come.
Yeah.
I think that
Lake of Dreams.
I think a lot of this is just nobody's ever tried this stuff before. Let's make it. Let's do it. Let's talk about it. The 7 teams who they would have made an amazing post like interviews, because all 7 of the 10 teams I know for sure did opposite things.
What about a little chat while they're waiting at the tank with their bag?
Hey, whatever it takes.
I chat them up.
Yeah, no doubt.
We didn't have a tank.
I asked one guy
for his phone number.
By accident, I swear.
Amber asked him for his phone number.
What's your phone number? Number? Oh my God, team number.
Oh, I did get a cute little picture of you under your umbrella there.
I got a phone
Mike
call.
And Josh.
Yeah.
I got a phone call from Quebec 3 days later for me to go pick her up. I had another topic on my head and I've totally lost it.
Sorry.
It's this
it's not on our magic board.
Pillsbury or whatever it's called I got in my lung.
Pillsbury. Crescent roll or something.
Anybody got any final words?
Take a kid
Shane's
fishing.
hot tub mishap.
What?
Shane's hot tub mishap.
Shane had a hot tub miss. Oh shit.
What do you think? It was a time machine?
Okay. Well, this is going to be the FL story of the week. FLW.
Oh, we never asked Coop and Danny for the best fish.
I always forget that.
God.
Isn't this your show?
Bitch. Kinda.
What's wrong with
Anyway, so Shane Julia was kind enough to drive all the way up there and film for us for 2 days.
Mm-hmm.
So was it after day 2? Yeah, it must have. Yeah. So everybody, there's a hot tub at the cottage, right? He goes in the cottage, gets changed, puts his swim trunks on, goes, sits down in the hot tub, and what's he got in his pocket? Cell phone.
Oh no.
The best part is when he pulled it out, it was still lit up, and I watched the screen like pixelate and then melt away. It was like,
dun dun dun. That cell phone is now officially dead.
Is it? It didn't work.
It didn't work. We right away the Emma riced it. Didn't work.
Oh, no.
I think that's an urban legend.
You guys had rice?
It's not. It works.
The cottagers had rice.
Yeah.
I said to him on Sunday, I said, Shane, I'll phone you later. He's like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
He didn't even clue in. I said, Shane, you don't even have a phone, man.
Any final thoughts?
I want to wish all our FearFishing guys good luck tomorrow.
Yeah. Yes.
I hope they come second.
It's going to,
Good
totally.
luck, Marley. Good luck, Marley. You'll need it.
Yeah. Good luck tomorrow with that guy.
You bring in the camera tomorrow?
We are. We're going to film it. We are going to film it. You'll see it in Unspooled 11, even if I shit the bed.
Nice.
I'm the only guy in fishing who posts the bad tournaments.
Tri-Lakes is mean to me this time of year, so
be good 'cause you're
I'm counting on.
Yeah.
I am taking our lovely daughter Emma,
and I'm taking my lovely daughter Hannah.
It is going to be good. It will be exciting. I hope Emma catches all our fish, lights it up. I hope Hannah catches all your fish.
Oh, she probably will. I gave Hannah trouble yesterday because she was on her websites or whatever she goes on, and I said, "Are you doing research for Saturday? Yeah. Are you doing some preparation for the tournament?" She goes, "No. Are you?"
Does Hannah use a bait caster?
Yeah. Yes, Hannah. What do you think?
I just asked.
Probably.
I didn't know if this fairy one thing was hereditary.
Yeah. Oh, it is. It is. You wait till you see those fish. All on a fairy wand.
And girls, you said all the guys in the fishing tournament.
And the girls. Sorry, girls.
It'll be fun. It's going to be a great day. Remember, anybody listening to the show, we are looking for new field staff members.
Did you hear that? We have about at least 2 listeners right now.
Beauty.
Hannah and Joan. Hannah and Emma.
Yeah.
And
Emma's, and you know what the funny thing is Emma wouldn't sit in the room to watch the webcast, but she'd watch it on YouTube.
Yep, she wanted to watch it.
Weird kids these
That's
days.
almost more creepy.
It is a little weird, eh?
Can we not get her on the webcast?
Here, before like this is dragging on forever. Do anybody in this room? Do you text anybody in the people who are in the same house as you?
Yes.
Do you?
Yes,
I do all the time.
I have. It's not all the time, but I have.
Emma and I will talk like instead of actually having a conversation, we'll text room to room, and I'll be like, "Hey, what's up? Can you get me a pop?"
Only pictures.
Only pictures. Hide and seek.
Come find me.
Let's play a game.
Guess where I am.
I found another little bird. All right.
You and Ian do some weird things, Marley.
You don't even want to hear the adventures in our boat. We've had to really cut this stuff out because we're now filming during tournaments. But it used to get weird.
I want to see video of you guys singing.
We used to remember when we had that Black Eyed Peas song like Down.
Yep.
That was good. That was a good tournament year.
Well, why don't you guys try that right now? Go.
No, it's got to be in the moment. We caught a couple 4-pounders singing that song.
I need to get a little more dehydrated and more sun.
Yeah, totally.
Well, you're not going to get the sun tomorrow.
You need like no water, all kinds of sun, and about 52 granola bars, and then you're like primed up to sing. When you're just on that
Pop-Tarts.
pure sugar high.
Hey,
Nice.
Marley, if we get out of this room quick enough, we can take 2 teams out. Ian's boat and
Yeah, mine's outside.
start cutting lines.
Yeah.
All right, guys, thank you so much for joining us. Remember, follow us on social media. Please subscribe to the Fear Fishing YouTube channel. And remember, tell all your friends. You can listen to this audio copies on SoundCloud and iTunes. God, my lung hurts.
Take care of yourself, Ian.
I will. I'm going to bounce back. I feel tomorrow is going to be that cool air. It's going to be good for me.
You know what? You know what's going to help you tomorrow?
What?
I'm going to burn you a burger.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yep.
After what you said about us
Hey,
earlier, Mark.
I would totally be that pissed off to burn the winner's burger, too. All right, guys. From everybody here at Fear Fishing, thank you so much for tuning in. Comment, like, share, giver, and happy fishing this weekend.
Good night.
Good night.